Hello everyone again. I'm here this morning with Mr. David Ridderheim. And Mr. Ridderheim came to our office first in 1996. Actually, I tested you a long time ago across town, probably 30 years ago.
Yes.
But you started coming to my office here in 1996. Why don't you tell people what kinds of problems you were experiencing before you decided to get hearing aids?
Well, one thing, I think it was time for me to get ready to retire because I couldn't hear people. I was a CEO of a hospital, had to listen a lot, and in 96, 97, I was getting, more and more trouble hearing, and I just, sometimes wouldn't even go to meetings because I couldn't hear what was going on.
Okay, all right. Well, what do you like most now about your new hearing aids?
Well, Dr. Lowe, I think I can talk about hearing aids in general, but I really love my Siemens. In fact, I brought it with me. I don't know if everybody else has one of these, but
The charger and the remote?
I have the charger and I have the remote. And I remember my dad. One reason I didn't get hearing aids was my father was always hearing, is the term whistling? He'd
Feedback?
Feedback, and then I'd see him do this to his ear, and we'd be so embarrassed. We'd go to church, and right in the middle of a sermon, we'd hear this strange noise, and he'd fidget. I just said, I didn't want to be like that.
Okay, good.
With these hearing aids and with this charger, the good news, bad news is, first of all, I wear them from the time I get up in the morning till I go to bed at night. The previous set, I think you remember, I didn't wear them all the time.
Right.
These are so comfortable.
Well, I wanted to ask you, in 96, you did get the canal type hearing aids that I think plugged you up pretty much.
Yeah.
And then in 2007, you got these new receiver in the canals. Why don't you tell them the difference you noticed there?
I think the two things. One is the comfort. These are so comfortable. In fact, if I have a complaint about them, they're so comfortable that once I actually went to the shower.
You're not the first.
With the hearing aid on, and boy, they make a lot of noise. They go, like that. So they are so comfortable. Secondly, the previous hearing aids, I like to sing in the choir, and I'd always be taking them out because my voice just sounded differently. I don't know what the audiologist term is, but kind of sound like plugged up, where these things are.
It's called the occlusion effect.
Occlusion, okay,
Yeah.
That's what I had.
And the open fit reduced the occlusion.
Yeah, I have none of that feedback problem. I also love these because we love to go to the Philharmonic, and if I'm there at the intermission, I use my remote to put it on the setting where I black out all the background noise, and I can listen to my wife without all the background noise. But then we go back to the concert, and I put the full stereophonic effect so I can really hear the music. So,
Okay, great.
These are such an improvement over any other hearing aid that I've had.
That's great to hear. Thank you. What would you say to people who are out there or not seeking help?
Go get it. In fact, I've had, interesting, 3 different groups that I belong to. It's the wives that tell me. Because they say, Dave, I noticed you've got, in fact, I have 2 hearing aids, and I think that makes a big difference too. They said, would you talk to my husband? Because he needs to go to get his hearing checked.
Right.
I said, I sure will.
How many people have actually noticed these new RIC hearing aids?
Quite often they don't even notice them because you can't see them. Maybe you can see them on the camera, but they say, before we had to keep repeating ourselves to you, now you seem to hear things much more clearly. So they say, get my husband to go.
I know you like to come in here and talk with our staff. What do you think of our staff here?
Oh, well, my wife will tell you, I keep raving about them. Sometimes I think people see as much of the staff as they do of you, because when we first get a hearing aid, you need adjustments, you have some problems. They are extremely patient. I think a lot of your customers tend to be a little older. I'm not old, but a lot of them are older than I am. And they need a lot of assistance initially. They never seem to get bothered. They take the time, they're patient, and they're just a joy to meet and talk to.
Oh, very good. Is there anything else you want to say?
Nope.
Have you pretty much summed it up? I thank you very much for taking
the best
time.
audiologist in the city of Fort Wayne, Dr. Greg Lowe.
Guys, and I didn't pay you to say that. Well, thank you, David, very much. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Quite welcome.